Good afternoon. You're listening to Listed by Mina Kuper, 98.1 FM, 1220 AM, KHTS hometown station. And my show is about real estate, trust, probate, divorce, and more. There are a lot of different situations that are involved in people's lives, which is also incorporated in these circumstances. And I have the wonderful Miss Felicia Jurado. She has an amazing insurance company. She will work all hours, just so you know. She just is my hero when it comes to getting people insurance because she will stop at nothing, and even if there's a hiccup, she will get you out of that hiccup from someone else and make everything good. So I want to introduce Felicia because you've done it. I mean, it's just amazing things that you found out. You brought to my attention that one of my clients didn't have insurance because the mortgage person never told him, and he never paid for it, and then you were on it, and he was so grateful, and so grateful for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I always try to do my follow-up and make sure everything is taken care of and no rock left unturned, for sure.
Yes. So I know, we've come a long way since we started the show. We're opening back up. Yay. It's getting there. Yay. And now we're going to be seeing a lot more traffic, right? Going from working at home and now getting back to the office, and schools are opening up. And so how may it impact our driving and insurance? So this is a new thing. So what do you think, Felicia?
I think that, as we start opening up and we see, people getting back to the road and, we haven't maybe been in traffic for the whole year, having a little bit more diligence on our mind, taking it easy, taking a deep breath, maybe, not being so much in a rush, and making sure that, we're just taking it easy when we're on the road and, with patience is always the key.
Yeah. And, do you think, because of the pandemic and all the shutdowns, that a lot of people didn't have the money to pay for not health insurance, but for car insurance or home insurance and things like that. And it's important to protect yourself, right, with insurances that you can have just in case they don't.
Yeah, well, there's no coverage for pandemic, obviously, but, with farmers, they rebated, I think it was like $1.6 million. I forgot the exact number.
Oh, wow.
For people, for just adjusting their mileage, for giving, the percentage of not driving in those few months that we first shut down. And, insurance is all about numbers. And I know that once the numbers start increasing on the road, hopefully the people will just take it easy and rates in California always increase because of liability. We're seeing also a lot more people without insurance, like I think we talked about before. And, rates are always based on, the statistics of the whole, obviously. So if we just, as a whole, keeping it safe and, mindful of driving safely and that kind of thing, I think that our rates are going to, continue to just stabilize. There's been some instances
that's great.
It's risen, but there's been a lot of change. The insurance companies have, or some of them have really tried to do better for their customers.
And I know people have the option of getting uninsured and underinsured motorists. And how important is that, especially if you own property?
Well, the uninsured and underinsured motorist really protects, your car, your valuables. So if you somehow, get into an accident and say even somebody hit you and ran, or they didn't have insurance or quite enough insurance, because our state minimums are still pretty low. And, it's really important because there's a lot of people who really don't carry it. And, we just have so many people in our city, especially LA County. It's one of the biggest counties, obviously in the United States. So it's a very important coverage, to keep yourself protected and the people in your car. if you have passengers in your car, it protects them as well, not just yourself.
I know that people can come after you personally if you don't have enough. Like if you have a home and whatever assets you have, if insurance doesn't meet their criteria, they can actually go after you personally if you don't have these extra insurances in place.
Right, because you're ultimately liable when you have somebody in your car.
Right.
Even if it's somebody else's fault, they were still in your car and in your property. So yeah, you can definitely be liable for their injuries and personal injury and that kind of thing, for sure.
Right. And, I know that, also important HOAs to have good insurance, right?
Homeowners associations?
Yeah.
If you live in an HOA, you mean?
Yeah, people should have their own insurance, and the people that run the HOAs, they should there are different insurance plans that they can get for their complex.
Well, I think a lot of people have, some HOAs, what they'll do is they cover the common grounds and they cover the main structure. And a lot of people don't realize that the HOA doesn't cover their personal property, the contents inside of that condo. So if something should happen, of course the HOA is going to be able to, obviously rebuild the structure. But, if your personal belongings are damaged, you want to make sure that there is coverage for that, because if a fire should occur, that's a smoke damage and that kind of thing. That's a very significant loss.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that yeah.
Especially if they have renters, right? People rent out their condos. They should definitely have the people get renters insurance should there be a flood or something happen.
Well, the person who owns the condo, if they're renting it out, then they carry what is called a landlord policy. And then the people who live in that condo or home or dwelling or whatever it is, they are highly recommended to get their renter's insurance, because the landlord policies aren't covering the person who's living in their contents. The landlord policies is protecting the landlords that if there's a loss, they can recover their rent. And Farmers doesn't have really a cap on that amount. It just has a term. So, if there's a loss up to 12 months, which is, that's a pretty good policy, because some are just 6 months, and then there's there's a cap on that. And I always tell my landlords, make sure who's living in there does get their own renter's policy, because if they should have pets or anything, sometimes the landlord policies don't extend coverage to animals. So if the animals, say, should injure somebody, you just want to make sure all your bases are covered.
Yes, exactly. And I know that, dealing with trust and probate, sometimes the property's been tied up vacant for a while and there's no insurance, right? And I know there's gap insurance that people can potentially get. So if somebody is looking to purchase a house or someone who gets hurt in the house while they're looking at it, that could be an issue as well.
Well, typically a property it has ownership at all times. And so the entity that, has the ownership, especially during, escrow and you're letting people come in your house, you do definitely want to maintain a certain level of liability. So if somebody does become injured on your property for any reason, there is coverage. And I would highly recommend waivers.
Yes.
Just coming on at your own risk, assuming some of the liability, but, you still need to make sure you're covered, because a lawsuit can always occur.
Right. It's like the COVID forms, right? You're entering this property and you don't have COVID, right? And if you fall, you're coming at your own risk. We're not taking responsibility for any of that because you signed this.
Well, COVID's a little trickier because you have to prove that you got COVID from that property, whereas if you slip and fall, you're pretty sure that's where you injured yourself. So
yes,
it's a little bit more cut and dry when you fall.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting, and usually I know, especially when there's in the properties, if people are showing properties that are old or not up to date, that's important to maybe put a cone where there's a particular crack where someone could fall to alert them and notify them that there's something there.
Right. It's actually what it's called is doing your diligence and making sure that you're securing and making any hazards are secured, anything that should be notified or, brought to somebody's attention. You're doing your diligence because that really, where's your negligence in it? It's all about, were you being responsible or not? And it lowers your liability for sure when you go around your property and you say, oh, you know what, there's something somebody can trip on there. Let's rope it off and not let anybody kind of step around this. Then if somebody crosses that line, you've protected yourself saying, you know what, I did everything I could to tell people not to step there. And, then you're definitely protecting yourself a lot more. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because, when I sell properties that, are in, older properties that have not been maintained or what have you and been sitting around, I always do my due diligence to make sure I protect the heirs or whomever be in the party, so to speak, because, sometimes people just don't think about it. They're just thinking about selling the property. But, anything can happen at any time. I know I've heard stories like the Murphy's Law thing, right? Something would happen all of a sudden. His insurance
if something's going to happen, it will happen. Or
right, exactly. At one point or another. And there was an insurance lapse, whether it was a divorce or probate, and something happened, and maybe a car drove through the house. I mean, crazy things happen. But the insurance lapsed, and those issues are so important because when things are sometimes tied up in probate and everything, things are not getting paid because no one has the jurisdiction to do it yet that haven't been awarded the person who's in charge of making those payments, And I find it so important because I have so much knowledge in this arena. I like to protect people, and having, someone like yourself on my team is super wonderful when I, have a last-minute question when I observe the property or properties or buildings, especially when there are people occupying the buildings, and yet nobody's paying the insurance potentially because they haven't chosen the person
no
who's going to be in charge.
Property owner ever wants to be left with their pants around their ankles, with their pants down, because if you were to be involved in a lawsuit, a personal injury lawsuit, and you don't have coverage, oh my gosh, I mean, your wages are garnished. You've pretty much lost your property for legal fees because, insurance companies also come with, to help cover your legal fees. And it's not just the cost of the claim. I mean, there's so much more that comes with protection when you have an insurance policy, and the insurance companies will fight for you, and they'll help protect you. And I really feel bad for people who find themselves in those positions when something has happened and they don't have the coverage.
Right, and it's so important. It's not even that expensive. It really isn't at the end of the day for all that you get.
No.
People, let things lapse or whatever, and then OMG, something happened, and they can't retroactively do anything.
Yeah.
And,
no, you cannot retroact per insurance policy. God, no.
Oh my God, they're and insurance companies don't want to pay. I mean, let's face it. Even though you have insurance, it's your responsibility to keep track of this and have someone like yourself.
Well, if you have a purchase policy and you are a client, the good insurance companies want to protect their clients. No insurance company who has a good name to them doesn't want to be known for not paying their claims. But what they want to make sure is the risks are low. They want to make sure, if we're going to take on this risk, we want to make sure that, this fits the criteria of our little bit of our list here. And so that's how come sometimes people do get, denied or turned away because maybe the risk is a little too high. But it's, at the end of the day, I just, I really believe in insurance and how it works, not just because I'm an agent, because I've really been in those situations. Yes, and I've seen, even when I was a kid, my dog had insurance, I had insurance, and have a lot of money. But
I always had insurance. Even my dog had insurance. I mean, because I saw what happened to people when they didn't. And nobody wanted to really help them. You know, you kind of like you're on your own, and it still stands true for today. And there's, things that I guess people can get depending on their situation, but there's always a way to have something. And certainly that gives you peace of mind to know that, God forbid, anything stupid happens, unforeseen circumstances, you're covered, and that's why you want to know someone like Felicia. Felicia, what's a good way for people to reach you? I know you're available quite often for people, and
our phone is always, we are always available to call. There's a person that will answer your call, and if not, we get right back to you. I mean, there's no 800 numbers that you have to go through, several different questioning buttons to push. Oh, that drives me nuts. So our phone number is 661-288-2001. And I'll repeat that one more time. It's 661-288-2001. 288-2001.
And also on the chat in the Facebook, when we're on the radio, we're also streaming on Facebook. You can post that number. Patty may have done it already for you, but you can also chat with people there should they want to have further questions later on in the day because they may be busy or driving. And
I have a Facebook, and we have Facebook and we have Instagram. It's just Insurance by Felicia Jurado Insurance Agency. You can always look us up. We have a website, farmersagent.com /FJurado. But yeah, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're also, you can always definitely get in touch with us through that.
That's amazing, and I know how you jump right in any time of the day when you have to help. There's no I'm too busy, and I love that about you. Really.
I appreciate that, Mina. I really do.
Yeah.
That's our attitude,
Yeah. You got to be in to win, and people I know me, if I need something, I can't have the hassle of looking for someone high and low. That is just the situations are stressful as it is, and then you have to go look for someone. No fun. So I want to thank you. We're going to take a break now. We're going to be back. But I want to thank you for joining me today. And you're always a wealth of information and always up on everything new that's going on. You're ahead of your game. And,
thank you.
Whoever uses you is very lucky because they will always be in a safe place. So I want to thank you again, and I look forward to working together.
Thank you, Mina. Appreciate it, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too, Felicia.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
LaRocca Inspections provides 4 of the most needed inspections when buying or selling real estate, and homeowners love their property reviews. Since 1994, they serve the greater Los Angeles area and its 100-plus communities. Schedule residential or commercial inspections for your comprehensive reports. Their inspections can save you money on repairs. Go to LaRoccaInspections.com and download the free guide to inspections. Call now for your free quote, 818-951-1795.
Felicia Jurado Insurance Agency specializes in your small business, homeowners, auto, umbrella, and life insurance needs. Their personalized staff is passionate to help you save money while keeping all your valuable assets covered. During these times, many people are concerned about insurance and getting the best value for their dollar. Felicia Jurado's Insurance Agency understands this and approaches each situation uniquely. Felicia Jurado's Insurance Agency has friendly hometown customer service reps that are ready to help you today. 661-288-2001.
When it comes to buying or selling your home, there's no room for error with your money. That's why Precision Escrow is the company you need to know. When selling your home, you want to make sure you're working with a company that has your best interest and keeps your money safe. That's why they use encrypted emails and secure trust accounting. Precision Escrow will follow the contract in detail from the beginning to the end and protect the parties involved. Working with Precision is like working with a huge family. Everyone is always smiling and cohesively working together for you. Check out their 5-star Yelp and Google reviews and see how they separate themselves from the competition. Whether you use an agent or sell your home yourself, they'll give you 30% off your transaction, which saves you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Use code RADIO30 to take advantage of the savings. Call Lauren Fredette, your representative, for more details. She's available 7 days a week during and after office hours. Call toll-free 877-393-4101. Let them help you through one of the most important decisions of your life.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
By Mina Kuper. We're about trust, probate, real estate, divorce, and more. And I have this show because I feel it's important for people to know some amazing people that can help you. And today I have the pleasure of having JaRee Bowers. And she's with Five Rings Financial. And JaRee is just a ball of energy and a light. You know, when someone walks into a room and there's a light shining from them, she's that person. And I wanted to talk to her and, have the audience know what's available to them and things that you really, some people avoid it, which is not a good thing, but financial stuff, right? It's not always fun to deal with, but once you do deal with it and you use JaRee, you're going to have fun. I promise you're going to have a good time. So, hi, JaRee. Thank you for joining us.
Hi. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, you're just amazing. So, I want to ask you a question. So, why did you choose the financial industry as a career choice?
I chose the financial industry because I have been, as a child, I was taught from my parents that I needed to own my own life and own my own business or be told what to do and when to do it. And that was not what I wanted to do. I did not want to choose to let somebody else control my life. So in my journey, I have owned multiple businesses and been very successful. And I've watched a lot of the people that I've worked with have a tremendous amount of money and not understand what to do with their money. And I've watched a lot of people that I've worked with that don't have any money or have a lack mentality because they're scratching pennies together all the time. And that created a desire in me to move forward and educate people in the financial industry. So I don't know if you've ever noticed, Mina, but we were not taught in the 12 to 16, maybe 20 years of education in the school system how to deal with money and what it looks like. We were just taught to kind of go through life, get a job, make some money, do the best you can, and that was essentially it. Well, what we need to know is how to use it as a tool, but not as a guiding force for our everyday existence, just to exist. So we actually to know that it is there and we use it for a tool, but not for lifting it up, so to speak. And I believe that the love of money is the root of all evil, as we are taught, if you are constantly focused on it, because you have a ton and you're always going to have it and you're going to spend it and just go, or because you don't have any and the lack thereof is still putting money first.
I agree. And, what I find different about you is you're more about education, right? Because people kind of get it, right? They do. I mean, most people understand financials to some degree, but you go so deep into an education portion of it so people can understand and have fun with it, why they need it. So why do you focus on education? Well, how do you feel people interact with you differently when you do that?
Well, I focus on the education because I believe that we are in need in this country, and we know that when we are just like, if you walk into a financial advisor's office or something like that, and you're thinking, first of all, everybody puts that off until they have to. And secondly, when they walk in, they're just really, I believe in the back of your mind, everyone's mind, they're thinking, okay, hopefully I can trust this person. Maybe you were referred to them by a friend or something. And it's possible for you to walk out of there just crossing your fingers and hoping that you've chosen the right person for your financial future and for your legacy. Well, the reason why we focus on education with Five Rings Financial, and my focus is truly that education, is because I believe we should be able to ask the right questions. We should be taught how to ask the right questions. So we take the rose-colored glasses that the financial industry is set up for wowing you and confusing you at the same time. So they have a job that's kind of the perspective of what people think. And we want to take that off people's face, that rose-colored glasses, that fear mentality, and say, listen, you can be empowered to understand what your money should be doing for you. So we really drill down deep into, how do I refinance my finances? What do I do if I don't even have two pennies to rub together? Well, Five Rings Financial, we work with everyone, whether you have $100 or millions of dollars, to help you understand what it should look like and where you should be going, to create goals that actually matter so that your legacy is secure when you get to that retirement stage in life.
And, what drives you to get up every day and give away your financial knowledge? Because, it's so, it's a lot to talk about, and it's different just to say, hey, you should be investing in something. But you put your heart and soul into it. So what drives you to do that?
Well, what drives me is I spent a lot of time being a single mom. And I was a single mom of two boys that were very strong-minded and very forward-thinking. And when you're a single mom, you have to be the mom and the dad. And traditionally, in my family's legacy, we were taught that the man handles all the money, and you don't have to worry about it. The woman just takes care of the home and the family, and that is not demeaning in any way, but that the man should be the one that focuses on income and where it goes and how to pay the bills and all of that. When I was a single mom, I realized very quickly that I had to be the one to make those choices and those decisions with our income. And my children were looking to me to be that role model. And I did not know how, because my dad didn't teach me and my mom didn't teach me and the school system didn't teach me. So I had to look to a higher place. I had to really focus on my faith and understanding, and that's what I pour into others. I don't talk about my faith all the time, but I know that the biblical principle of not getting into debt, of being focused on blessing people when you have the opportunity to do so, is very, very important. And if you can't do that because you're always worried about paying the bills and lack thereof, which is 99% of what single moms go through, you can't take that step back and look outside the picture frame because you're just stuck right in the center of it. And it's very hard to look around you and make sure that you've got a good life balance. When your children, and especially boys, because they really need to know all of these real fundamental things to be healthy men, you have to seriously step back and say, okay, what do I need to do and how do I need to do it? And when I come in contact with Five Rings Financial, it was a godsend and a blessing for me because I know that I can pour into others, and I'm not expected to do anything but educate everyone. And there's no one that doesn't deserve it. All of us do. And maybe you do know a lot about the financial industry. Maybe you've been, you're a person that has been highly educated. It's interesting how many of those people that I think I come in contact with that think that they have it all figured out. And then I start the education and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, I didn't know this and that, So my passion is literally moving in that direction. And I'm focused on getting up every single day. Who can I teach? Who needs this education? What children's legacy is going to be impacted because I taught the parents the correct way to handle money?
And what's amazing is your enthusiasm is contagious. It really is.
Well,
you beat COVID because you're more contagious than that. And that's in a good way. Because
yes.
Your enthusiasm and the way you educate people just makes them want more of it. It makes them excited instead of like, what do you mean by that? People will throw out kinds of things. I think you should do this and the other thing. But because you have such a broad educational background to be available for people, that's what brings the gap between you and other people. What are some statistics we should be aware of?
Well, the biggest one coming from that single mom perspective, so the biggest one for women out there is to know that between now and the next 10 to 15 years, 85% of the country's wealth will be coming through women's hands. And I say that in knowing that, okay, the baby boomers are shifting a lot of wealth right now, and women outlive men. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a high statistic of divorce and breakdown in the family unit, and that is because the root is the foundational principle that is not there of money. Most of it starts there, and then all of the other things pile up, and it creates that divorce. So with divorce rates and women coming into more knowledge and more money in their hands, owning more businesses and all of that, and then the transfer of wealth from the baby boomers into their hands as well, it's really something that we need to focus on and say, okay, we need to be educated on how to create that financial foundation to set up this legacy that will pass us over. So it's going to be going to our children's children. And that, again, is a biblical principle that is very much my focus, because I believe that if we cannot create that legacy to pass it on, then what are we doing it for?
Right. What's the purpose?
Right. There's no purpose in that. And if you can't take your focus off of money and live your life and not worry about, oh my gosh, I hope it's in the right mutual fund or stock or bond or any of those things. Oh my goodness, what if I didn't choose the right guy to trust with my money, and all these things, waking up with fear all the time, then you've got it backwards. So it's a focus point of saying, okay, let's calm down, let's relax, let's take the fear out, let's get you set up so that there's a zero loss strategy. So what you would do is invest with me and our company the money that you cannot afford to lose. And then the rest of it can go out into the market and get to those huge gains. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to touch, we're running a little short on time now, but you are just people can pick up where we left off. What is Wine, Women, and Wealth? Because I had so much fun. I can't wait to go again. It is just such a blast. It really is like a night out. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. Well, what Wine, Women, and Wealth is all about is teaching a simple money principle. So with us, we do Money 101 classes really quick. Money 101 class, and that's a broad spectrum of everything that we teach. But with Wine, Women, and Wealth, it is one topic that's interesting about money that generally applies to women. And then, of course, with the wine part, we just do a little fun pairing, saying it's not about wine. The wine is simply because we want you to relax and just take a break, have some girl time, and then it's about networking each other's businesses. So we're lifting up women to become stronger, better in the world, and strong with their business and sharing for each other.
Yes. And JaRee, I know you're licensed in Oklahoma, Kansas, Arizona, California, and Texas, and that is huge. I like the fact that you can help people and their friends. And can you share in the comments about Wine, Women, and Wealth in the comments where Facebook is streaming on KHTS radio, so people can communicate with you, and you can also communicate with them anytime you want, because on Facebook it's always there, as you know, because people that are driving may not be able to, put this on paper and get it down. So I know that the nice part about it is that they can always go on Facebook and access this whenever they want, and you can also chat with them.
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So that would be fantastic. And what's a good way for people to reach out to you? Just for giggles, let's throw it out there. What's a quick, easy way for them to reach out to you?
And you know what? Just giving me a text or a call on the phone is probably the fastest way to talk to me. And my number is 623-236-6800. That is the best way to contact me because I've always got my phone and my email right in front of me. And, of course, then we can set up Zoom and see each other face-to-face, and I love that. I love to Zoom and see each other face-to-face.
Yes, it's fun. And when people see you, because you are always happy, I have to say, whatever you do, you always have a smile on your face. Even when you told me one day, you said, I was a little stressful day, but you still have a smile on your face, and that makes me smile, and that's amazing. So if you want to smile, call JaRee. Have a Zoom call with her for anything, whatever that's worth. At least if you just want to smile, you call
if
her.
You just want to take and just not talk about anything.
No, right. Just not talk about anything. Just hang out and smile. So I really, really appreciate knowing you, and I look forward to much, much more. And I know we're on this journey together. Like you said, good people meet good people. The universe pairs you up. And when you do good things to good people in the right way, you get rewarded. And it's a revolving door, right? So I want to thank you. Yeah. I want to thank you. Unfortunately, my show is only an hour, but I could probably talk for hours, especially with you. We just keep on going. They don't need to go to sleep. We just keep on talking until everybody listens. No. So anyway, this is really fun, and I look forward to doing more with you.
Thank you so much. Bowers. It's been a wonderful time. I love getting to talk to you as well. Talk to you soon.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Felicia Jurado Insurance Agency specializes in your small business, homeowners, auto, umbrella, and life insurance needs. Their personalized staff is passionate to help you save money while keeping all your valuable assets covered. During these times, many people are concerned about insurance and getting the best value for their dollar. Felicia Jurado's Insurance Agency understands this and approaches each situation uniquely. Felicia Jurado's Insurance Agency has friendly hometown customer service reps that are ready to help you today. 661-288-2001.
At Substrata, they're dedicated to be your go-to general contractor. They are a premier builder of high-end custom homes from the ground up, major remodels and expansions, multi-unit construction, and commercial tenant improvements for both retail and office build-out. Their focus on details and personal attention have been constant from conception of the project to completion.
They build stories not with pen and keyboard, but with steel and manpower. Visit substrata.com or call 424-702-5700.
LaRocca Inspections provides 4 of the most needed inspections when buying or selling real estate, and homeowners love their property reviews. Since 1994, they serve the greater Los Angeles area and its 100-plus communities. Schedule residential or commercial inspections for your comprehensive reports. Their inspections can save you money on repairs. Go to LaRoccaInspections.com and download the free guide to inspections. Call now for your free quote, 818-951-1795.
I love it.
Right on.
Your hometown station.
Hi, you're listening to Listed by Mina Kuper about trust, probate, divorce, and more. And I'm happy that you came and joined me again. My show is an hour, and my show is here to educate people when they're going through the solutions of relationships and things that would be important for you to know. And I have some great professionals on the show. As you all know, or you don't know, I am a realtor. I'm a certified trust and probate realtor. And I love dealing with families. You know, I have a lot of services that I offer that's included in my real estate transactions. I offer junk removal, staging, and we also even have a program at Keller Williams that we can potentially come in and renovate your property or whatever it needs. If we think that it's a good value to do that, and we can maximize on the money we get when we sell the property. So we're all here about you. So, you know, junk removal, you know, certain things, it's on me. I invest in my clients as a realtor. That's how I know that, you know, we're in it together. When I say that, I don't let go until I make things perfect for my sellers to get the right price for their house and keep up on the markets. And we all know, or we don't know, interest rates went up a tad. We don't know what that means because, unfortunately, these are unprecedented times. But, you know, historically, you know, what goes down must come up and vice versa. And, you know, eventually things will change. We don't know when. But, you know, they can go back down a tad, too. So this doesn't necessarily mean it's an indication of things changing. It's just that everything fluctuates, right? And as you all know, real estate market has no inventory, right? But I think that will change too, because eventually people move around, and you know, the universe will tell us where this all goes. But if you're buying a house, on the fun side of things, I do work with a national TV show from time to time, where we can have you being featured on the show, buying a house with me. And if you want to learn more, please, you know, go to my website, and I'll put it on the chat, listedbyminakuper.com. And my email address is mina@listedbymina.com, minakuper.com. My phone number, you can always text me or call me, is 310-345-8500. Because there are still properties on the market to buy, right? It's not like